I have been fishing for my entire life. I am 28 years old. My dad, before I was even a year old, would bring me on the boat with him. For the past 15 years or so, I've fished probably anywhere between 35 and 50 events a year. And what you guys are about to see is the closest and scariest moment that I've ever been a part of on the water. I wasn't driving the bass boat in this situation, but I was with a couple guys on the SMC fishing team when this went down. So I'm gonna post this clip without context, and then I'll kind of break down some of it right after.
Dude. Everybody good? Everyone's good. I almost jumped off the boat. Oh my God.
What you guys just witnessed could have been a very different situation. One little move to the left, and what happened to a couple other, anglers out in the water this past week or so could have been the same exact story for us. And that's scary. When I see something like that happen right now, and all the other tragedies that I've seen over the last couple of years, they're rare. You only see, usually 1 to 2 a year tops. It's been a little bit crazy lately for whatever reason, and my thoughts, prayers, and condolences go out with those families, because the fishing industry is a really tight-knit community, and when things like that happen, it feels like that could have been me, and literally, as you just saw, that could be you. It's how close it is and how dangerous it can be out in the water. I'm not saying don't fish. I'm not going to stop fishing. This incident was about 2 years ago, and since then I've probably been in the water another 200 or 300 times. It's not going to change what I do out there, but this is just kind of a PSA for you guys that we have to be more careful on the water. Bass boats and ball boats don't have brakes. So I counted it down. I watched the clip back before I started talking to the camera here. There was probably about 10 seconds from when we were slowing down to, kind of complete stop and when that boat almost hit us. 10 seconds is a pretty long time. If you're paying attention, first off, you should have plenty of room between you and a boat in front of you when you guys are both traveling 60, 70 miles per hour, whatever it may be. If you have at least 10 seconds, which once again, you should be following probably a little bit further than that anyway, but if you have at least 10 seconds of space between you and another boat, you should be able to swerve well to the right or left and make sure that you're not going to get that close to causing a severe incident. Was it the best spot to drop down a boat? Probably not. It was kind of in the middle of Lake Toho. It was an offshore spot that Dalton and Dylan were trying to fish right there, but also it was a community hole. There was about a dozen boats that were fishing that exact same area, stopped in the exact same spot as us too. So I wasn't driving the boat. I'm not getting on Dalton for stopping right there, because it was a spot that a lot of people fish, and it wasn't really on him to, watch exactly. That boat had plenty of time to stop. It wasn't like they were right behind us and he just killed it and slammed his brakes like if you're in a car on the highway. That boat was way behind us. It looks like it was probably a lot worse than it was, but that boat was going about 70 miles per hour, not paying attention to what they were doing. Like I said, this is just kind of a PSA. That was one of the scariest moments I've ever had in the water. And like I said, I've had hundreds, if not thousands of days out there on the water. And just with everything going on, I felt like this is the time to post this. I never was really planning on posting this clip. I've been sitting on it for quite some time, but be careful out there. It is a dangerous sport. Boats go very fast. You're not buckled in. You're out in the water. So even if you get ejected from the boat, you're wearing a life vest, which you always should be. Most tournaments, it's a rule that you have to do anyway. But even that, you could be unconscious, you could fall wrong, and your head could be underwater. There's so many different things that go on the water, so avoiding those collisions in the first place is the number one thing that we could do as anglers. So be diligent, watch where you're going, don't be staring at your graph and following the contour lines. Of course, you got to see, especially if you're running in a sketchy place, you have to watch that, but also look ahead of you too. We're not living in a digital world where you could just kind of stare at this box. There are other people around you out on the water. Some people that are stopped fishing, some people that are driving boats, from the other direction. So this was obviously a very different video. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel, I do post a lot of tournament fishing content and have a couple other really cool video ideas coming your way here soon too. So subscribe down below. Hopefully nothing like this will have to be posted on this channel ever again. So stay safe out there, guys, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.